In this GraphicsFlow tutorial, we're going to talk about how to take full advantage of the stock art that's available to you in your GraphicsFlow account. Now, once you've logged into GraphicsFlow, from the left navigation, you'll notice stock art has three main workspaces: design ideas, clip art, and fonts. And let's work through these now. So principally, stock artwork is production-ready, vector-based artwork that's available in a huge array of categories and styles. Now, what's the purpose of this stock artwork? Number one, this is useful to present graphic themes and ideas and concepts to your clients when they come to you without a graphic. So think, if I'm a wrestling coach and we're doing a fundraising event for our wrestling team for travel expenses, and I come to you saying we want t-shirts as part of this fundraising event, well, you're sort of on the creative hot seat to come up with cool, themed graphics that's going to motivate coach to wanting to place an order, right? So with that said, think of this art content as a sales tool and as a way to present ideation and graphic ideas to a customer to help really sort of communicate what options are available and really to help choose a theme. So if you find that a customer is really excited about a really traditional collegiate theme, you can then take that and take that theme and then personalize and create maybe a few derivations to then go back and present to the client for final approval. So don't think of this as clip art and design templates and fonts. Think of it as a sales tool that will allow you to accelerate the sales process, get commitment quicker, remove frustration of endless back and forth emails trying to get the artwork correct, and most importantly, just being efficient, not spending tons of time coming up with graphics that are stylized without having context to then make progress there. All right, so let's talk about how to take advantage of stock art. There's really two ways to leverage this content. Let's talk about that now. So here I am at Design Ideas. First thing I want to point out that if I type in something like hockey and I do a search, that's going to search all of the content that's inside of GraphicsFlow, both design ideas, clip art, and any fonts that might match. So here I typed in hockey, which is a global search, and I can see that there's 64 results for hockey-oriented design templates, and there are 459 hockey clip art matches. So of course I can click See All, and I can see all of that matching content. The other way to sort of browse, you can do it by keyword, which I just showcased. You can also use the category drop-down. So I can choose a category. So if I want to find some sports-related themes, of course I can go to sports, and then I can see all the subcategories, and there I can make decisions about what's appropriate. Now here I want to point out something. We have a keyword that we used, which is hockey. So if I choose sports and I choose boxing, well, nothing's going to display because we used hockey as a keyword. So if you remove hockey, so I'm just going to select it and hit delete, well, GraphicsFlow is then going to go and find all of the styles and categories that might match my original search. So just be aware that if you have a keyword here, that's going to also be part of the search and filter. So just wanted to call that out here. So let's kind of go back. We don't have a keyword. We don't have any categories selected. So let's kind of walk through this again. So here I can go to a category. So let's go back to sports. And there I'm going to choose cheer. And I'll also choose maybe another, let's do figure skate, maybe gymnastics. And so that's three different categories I've now selected, and I'll see all of the content that displays. Now I'll point out you can always refine this. So what I can do is click figure skating, and I can click that little X icon to remove that category from my search. So you can easily add a bunch of categories and then dismiss some of those if you made a mistake or you want to refine your results. So you can see the real power here of a global search, browse by category and subcategory. You can even filter based on style. So here I can choose collegiate, maybe classic, maybe crest-oriented themes. And that's going to help me take a broad category and then drill down and refine by style. Okay, so once you've made these decisions, and again, I'm going to dismiss so we go back and have more to view here, I want to point out that oftentimes you're going to see more than one file of the same graphic. And that means that it's typically a 1 or 2 color file and then a full color variation. So this is a handy way to download a true 1 color file that you might use for, say, vinyl heat transfer versus a multicolor file that you might use for screen print, direct to garment, or other digital print processes. So that's the explanation of why you might see more than one file display here. Now, the other thing I want to point out, that you have the ability to hover your mouse over a file, and you'll notice there's an ellipse icon where you can choose to take one of two important actions. Number one, I can add to an art approval. Now in this case, you have to have an art approval that's already created, and I can then browse for an existing art approval. I can make that selection, and I can add that file directly to an art approval. Now, if you watch the tutorial on how to create an art approval, you'll also see how you can browse all of the stock art directly from an art approval, which is the more common workflow. But the other major action here, beyond adding to an existing art approval, is the ability to download. And you have three options for every file. You can download a high-resolution PNG, so a digital file, or you can download a truly interactive CorelDRAW file format. So you can see CDR is for Corel, and then you can see AI is for Adobe Illustrator. So you're free to browse, search, filter, and find content and immediately download to leverage and use it offline. One other thing I want to point out as it relates to filtering, you'll notice here there's a little indicator that lets you filter by recent first, oldest first, A to Z, or Z to A. And the reason this is important, every month we're adding new and fresh design styles and concepts to GraphicsFlow. And of course, the most recent will always display by default first and foremost. So that's how you filter, search, and browse and find all of the content that's available to you in GraphicsFlow. And again, the two use cases, you can add concepts directly to an art presentation as a way to communicate different styles and options and ideas that are available to a customer to help choose sort of style commitment and style path. That's going to help spare you a lot of time. Then you can download files to refine and customize and personalize, and then you can reintroduce those right back into an art approval to get final commitment. So you can see how all of these tools in GraphicsFlow work together. So we talked about design ideas. Of course, clip art has the same search and filter controls. Let's talk about fonts. That's the last part of the equation. All of the fonts that are available here are the fonts that are integrated into all of the design ideas. So we allow you to access those separately. So what you can do is search by file name, or you can, of course, browse the fonts by scrolling. You can choose whatever font you want to download, and of course, click the download icon, and GraphicsFlow, of course, will download that file to your computer where you can choose to install it on your system. Now, these fonts are typically true type fonts. In some occasions, they're open type fonts, but they all behave the same. This allows you to install these fonts for use on your PC or Mac. So this has been a quick review of the stock art that's available on GraphicsFlow. Again, we're releasing content on a monthly basis, so there's always fresh concepts available to you. If you need any help taking advantage of stock art, you have any questions, make sure to reach out to the GraphicsFlow support team.